The wind howled down Main Street like a warning. Rust-colored leaves scraped across the sidewalk, swirling around a pair of old brown boots cracked, tired, and pointed toward nowhere. Inside them stood Walter Hines, 76, hunched beneath the awning of McKinley's pharmacy. He held a crumpled newspaper in one hand and a plastic bag in the other, its contents long forgotten save for a dented can of soup. He wasn't waiting for anyone. Not anymore. "Softly. They all used to meet me here," he muttered, brushing his thumb over the tattered wedding band he still wore. Every Sunday after church, the boys would run ahead to get lemon drops. Marlene would laugh, trying to keep up. A gust of cold air cut through his thin coat. He pulled it tighter, but the buttons were long gone. The city was preparing for Christmas twinkling lights in the storefronts, Bing Crosby on the radio, but Walter felt none of it. He hadn't felt the season since Marlene passed. He looked down at his boots. One was missing a sole entirely. He hadn't noticed until last week when the wet had finally soaked through and he came home with blue, puckered feet. But boots were expensive and the pension didn't stretch the way it used to. He crossed the street slowly, holding onto the metal railing like it might anchor him to something. No one stopped. No one looked. He was just another old man moving through shadows. What hurts more, being alone or being forgotten by a world that keeps moving? And for a moment, the world was completely still. "Grandpa? Wait up!" The voice came from behind. Walter turned. A boy, maybe 10, was jogging toward him, scarf flying, cheeks red from the wind. Behind him, a woman, likely his mother, balanced coffee cups in one hand and bags in the other. The boy slowed as he approached, then stopped in front of Walter. "Your shoes, they're broken." Walter chuckled lightly. "Well, they still cover my feet, mostly. That counts for something." The boy frowned. "It's really cold, sir." Walter was about to offer a polite brush-off when the boy yanked off his backpack, unzipped it, and pulled out a pair of clean, barely used sneakers. "These are mine. They still fit a little, but Mom said I could get new ones soon. You can have these." Walter blinked. No, I couldn't." The boy looked at him seriously. "You can. Please. I have warm socks too. My grandma always says, kindness is like a blanket, it only works if you share it." Walter knelt slowly, old knees popping, his voice cracked. "You sound like a smart young man." The boy grinned. "What's your name?" "Jalen," the boy replied. "What's yours?" Walter Hines." Jalen nodded, then tugged his mother over. She was hesitant at first, but seeing Walter's face creased with time and tenderness, she smiled. She poured him a coffee from the carrier without asking, just handed it over like he was family. Walter held the cup with both hands like it was a gift from heaven. Why would a stranger care when even family stopped calling? They sat together on a bench near the corner bakery where smells of cinnamon rolls warmed the wind. Jalen told Walter about his school, his dog ranger, and the science fair volcano he built that didn't erupt. Walter laughed for the first time in weeks. With soft wonder, "You know," Walter said, "my youngest used to love volcanoes. We built one together. Must have been 40 years ago. He made a mess so big, my wife nearly lost her mind." Jalen smiled. "Where is he now?" Walter hesitated. "California, I think. We lost touch." The words felt heavier than he expected. Jalen's mother leaned forward gently. "You ever try writing him?" Walter shook his head. "Too proud, too old, maybe both." Jalen, sipping cocoa now, whispered, "It's never too late. That's what my Nana says." Have you ever felt kindness find you, right when you were ready to give up? The next day, Walter returned to the same bench, wearing Jalen's sneakers. He hadn't realized how much pain he'd gotten used until he didn't feel it anymore. He brought an envelope. Inside, a letter to his son, written shakily with more heart than grammar, and a photo of the volcano, faded, but still proud. Every day that week, Jalen met him there after school, sometimes with snacks, sometimes with stories. He even asked if Walter could help him with a history project. Walter lit up. He'd taught American history at the local high school for 30 years, and here was a boy who actually wanted to listen. "Why don't they teach about regular people?" Jalen asked one afternoon. Like, what about the man who made the first traffic light, or the lady who invented windshield wipers? They were important too. Walter smiled. "You're absolutely right. History is full of unsung heroes." How long does it take for a broken heart to trust again? 2 weeks before Christmas, Jalen didn't show, nor the next day. Walter tried to dismiss it, maybe a flu, maybe a trip, but the silence gnawed at him. He waited an hour longer than usual, staring at the tree lot across the street. Then, on the third day, Jalen's mother appeared, alone. He got sick. Bad cold, been sleeping a lot, but he made me promise to bring you this. She handed over a wrapped package. Inside was a small handmade card drawn in crayon. To Mr. Walter, you made my heart warmer than my socks did. Love, Jalen. Walter sat back, tears in his eyes. She sat beside him. He talks about you a lot. Said you were the coolest old guy he ever met. Walter laughed through his tears. You raised a good boy. She hesitated. Can I ask you something? Jalen said you taught history. Would you ever consider tutoring him? He struggles a bit in school. You seem to really reach him. Walter felt a lump rise in his throat. I'd be honored. Christmas morning arrived with soft snow and church bells echoing through the quiet town. Walter stood on his porch, the one he hadn't decorated in years, wearing his warm coat and Jalen's gifted shoes. He held a mug of cocoa, and beside him, a wrapped gift marked, "To Jalen, from your history buddy." Down the street, the boy ran toward him with the excitement only children carry in winter. Behind him, his mother waved. Walter stepped forward, arms open. He had a new tradition now. He had a reason to wait at the bench. He had purpose. What if the person saving you needed saving just as much? Has a small act of kindness ever changed your day or your life? Share your story in the comments below. It might inspire our next video. Subscribe to The Kind Story for weekly heartwarming stories. Hit the bell and check out our playlist of emotional videos. Join our community on X for exclusive story teasers and behind-the-scenes content. This story is a work of fiction, dramatized for entertainment and inspiration. It is 100% original, created exclusively for The Kind Story YouTube channel. All characters, names, and events are fictional, inspired by real human emotions. This content complies with YouTube's community guidelines and aims to uplift and inspire,